Mike Sullivan. God, I started this about an hour ago. I've had so many phone calls. I'm finally getting around to it. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm a former agent. I've worked about 10,000 cases. I worked at IRS over a decade. I'm a kind of a national. I'm an expert in IRS tax resolution matters. I've been on all the major TV stations, Vegas speaker, and all that 9 yards of hoo-ha. Today, I want to talk to you about the IRS collection process. As an agent, I was wrapped up in this for years and years and years, and so I want to tell you about this process and what you need to know and what you're going to experience through it. Usually, when you go ahead and file a tax return and you owe money, and you cannot pay. IRS takes that tax return, and the very first thing that IRS does is they go ahead and start the process by starting an assessment on you, and that's going to be called the date of assessment, or the 23C assessment. That is the day IRS creates that actual tax bill for you. IRS sends out a series of notices, just 5 of them. CP 2000 will let you know about the notice. CP 501, another notice that you owe. CP 503, getting a little more severe. 504, threatening, we're going to levy, we're going to contact third parties, we're going to get information on you. CP or 1058, that's your final notice, your collection due process. You can file a collection due process hearing where you can take this case to appeals if you have reasonable cause. This whole process takes somewhere in the neighborhood of, I don't know, 4 or 5 months, 6 months sometimes. The thing you have to know if you don't follow up on this 1058 notice, IRS's K2 computer system, they're going to go ahead and start the levy enforcement. What are they going to levy? They're going to levy your bank account. How do they know your bank? For the last 6 years, IRS has all the information on your banks and where you worked and your wage history. You can find that out yourself by going to the IRS portal at irs.gov and ask for your wage and income transcripts, and you will find out all the information IRS has and where they're going to send those levies. If it's self-employed, well, and then in that case, they may go ahead and if some third party sent a 1099 in on you, they're going to have a list of all your 1099s. So sooner or later, IRS is going to find a levy source, whether it be an employer, a 1099, a bank, or somebody. But you really don't want that to happen. A lot of people don't know when to call and what to do. So first of all, when you get your notice, find out if that's the correct tax liability. If it's a small matter and you call IRS, there's generally 2 ways that situation is going to take care of itself. You can either make a payment agreement, or you may be in a hardship where you can't pay anything. About 21,000 people of all the millions of taxpayers out there may be eligible for an offer and compromise to settle their tax debt through the offer program. I taught that program at IRS. But before you call Internal Revenue Service, you've got to know that there's a system in which you're going to be judged by. What's that judging system? It's called the IRS National Standard Program. So if you just want a simple payment agreement, you can either call us or go online at irs.gov, ask for an online payment, and IRS has different programs you are eligible for if you want to do that. But if you have a more complicated case or it's a big dollar amount, IRS may want to see the financial statement. If it's in a local office, they'll want a 433A. If it's in the service center, they're going to want a 433F. You'll tell by the bill you got and who signed it where, in fact, the case is. But at the end of the day, you want to be able to stop the problem itself. IRS loves that. Just to make sure your withholding is up to date, make sure all your tax returns are filed, and then IRS is going to lay their hands off of you. But at the end of the day, you have to make that decision. Do you want to make a payment and get rid of it, or be put in hardship? Well, a payment is simple. You're going to know what you have. You can determine how many months you want it for. The hardship, there's some facts you have to know about that. First of all, 40% of all open inventory cases right now are put in hardship. The bad news about that, penalties and interest run, and they continue to take your refund. The good news is IRS leaves you alone for 1, 2, or 3 years, sometimes really for good, depending on the case. So if you have a small case, I would take it in your own hands and call the 1-800 number on the letter. If you owe a significant amount of money, you have no business doing that case yourself, because IRS can take you to the woodshed on that, and I wouldn't do that. Anyway, we're available for any calls or comments. If you have a comment, I'll probably make a YouTube on it. If you like the videos that I'm doing, let me know that by a like, or just go ahead and subscribe. Subscriptions really help me. They also try to get the word out. What I try to do as an agent is tell you what IRS is thinking on every case. I just want you to know one other thing about this collection process. It ain't personal. It's all done by a computer, but the computer don't care about you at all. So anyway, I welcome your comments, your thoughts, your subscriptions, and your likes. Thank you very much for listening to me.